Welcome back to another week of the Junk Mail with myself and Dylnuz. We've got a special guest this week with Ciurleo and George Fry coming on. They're going to be talking Ashes and NFL. Before we get to that, though, we've got some F1 and UFC stuff you want to take us through, Dill. So take it away, mate.
Yeah, obviously pretty historical stuff with the F1s, with Max Verstappen winning. But like we don't really like to dip too hard into the detail. But there was this video. I don't know about you, Chocky, but Max Verstappen's like giving me real first beer vibes here.
He reminds me just of like a young, like under 17s, under 18s, like first time hanging out with the boys and just celebrating the win, just getting absolutely. Look at him. Look at it. You can tell he's not later in the night. He's just going to have his arm around someone he barely knows, and he's going to be saying, "You know what, man? I love you, man. We should hang out more, man. We should hang out more. Like I love you, man. You're a nice guy. We don't hang out enough. And I'm being serious. I love you, man."
But another one of the big stories as well is obviously the UFC on Sunday, a little bit overshadowed by the Verstappen win. But Amanda Nunes, probably one of the best fighters, if not like definitely female fighters of all time. Juliana Penner, she like beat her, and like it was when you were watching it, you were kind of like there's it building into a bit of history here, and you're kind of seeing her get on top there. But watching her post-match interview, which we'll throw to now, it really made me quite emotional.
Be the biggest upset in the history of the sport, but you said what you were going to do, and you did exactly what you said.
I told you, don't ever doubt me again. Willpower, strength, and determination, it will take you places. I'm just so grateful. The world is my oyster, and you literally have the ability to do anything that you want in this life, and I just proved that tonight.
Like I'm gonna be pretty raw and honest here. I was actually watching the fight, and I watched that post-match speech on a Sunday in a beer garden, and the Saturday was quite large, and I started to feel like that my life probably wasn't really like as spectacular as maybe I could make it, and I started to kind of get quite emotional about it, and actually almost bawled my eyes out, thinking like that I wasn't really doing much in my own life. You know what I mean? Like maybe I should really level up. I don't know.
Yeah, it's like you're slowly realizing it. You were watching it, slowly realizing it when you were explaining it to me. Like, what is this feeling? I'm like, that's inspiration, bruh. The only similar thing, sort of, I guess, is as inspiring or sort of tear-jerking is, I don't know if you want to get this up, Dill. It's that old footy speech of the local footy hero who just grabs his team in. He goes, "There was some bitch in the Olympics. She fucking come fourth or fifth or whatever. Don't fucking matter. But she fucking pushed herself. She pushed herself to near fucking exhaustion." Get it up, because that's right there is inspiration. That is fucking unreal.
Oh, really? That actually was quite inspirational. But throwing to some inspirational figures that we love on the show, and we always will love, no matter what they say. But it's George and Ciurleo, and we've got some NFL and Ashes stuff, and we love to hear them, and we love the voice. A little bit spoiled for choice today. We've got George again back, and then we've got Shane Ciurleo. I think we're going to say not from the mailbag, from the Traders Mat these days. Live, you're about to jump on, aren't you? So what's the goss with the Traders Mat? Give us a bit of a spiel about what you've been up to, mate.
Yeah, so obviously I was slightly tongue-in-cheek at the Traders Mat here, Dill, but we just wanted to show everybody how easy it is to win money trading sport. So Jackson Oldham and myself did a bit of a tutorial, if you like, and bet live on the first Ashes test. We had a little bank there. We started with 500, and we just wanted to win, weekend money. So we thought 300 was the right number, because that's the exact amount that you need to be winning to spend on a Saturday. And we did that pretty easy. We laid the jaw and took a position on Australia to win. So perfect, free money. Looking to do it again in this next test coming up.
Unreal. And heading into the next test, obviously an Adelaide day-night test. At the moment, the win probability sits 63% Australia, 12% draw, and 25% England. With the injury to Hazelwood, what's your thoughts coming into this game? Is there any lean that you've got there, mate?
Well, I sort of want to listen to what George has to say, I suppose. But put it this way, we've just had a look at the forecast. And it's going to get like mid to high 30s, right, during the day. The Englishmen are going to be melted before they even step onto the pitch. So there's there's absolutely no way that this test match is going 5 days. I think last time they were at the Adelaide Oval on the day-night test, India were knocked over for 36 in the second innings. So if you want to pick up an easy, say $70, you just have 500, lay the draw at $8 for 500 and you'll win $70. That's the easy way. Jacko and I will put a little bit more work into it. We'll listen to a few more, bit more commentary from George. And then when we film the show later today, we'll have a bet for us for sure.
Beautiful. And George, passing on to you, mate.
Yeah, those pink ball tests, they tend to be over pretty quickly. England's last pink ball test was in India. It was over in 2 days. They picked a whole load of seam bowlers because obviously the conventional thing is what they recommend, the pink balls that swing heaps under lights. So you've got blokes like Anderson and Broad who are obviously pretty skillful. And then in India, it was over in 2 days. And obviously the last time when they played Adelaide Oval with India, obviously Curls just mentioned they bowled out for 36. So the conventional wisdom is that with the pink ball, the bowlers sort of tend to dominate. And it's when it's that in that sort of night session, it's sort of weird. In the day, it can bat really flat and sort of go flat. And then as soon as the night session, it gets a bit of dew, apparently just starts to hoop around corners. So let's just have a look at the team. You mentioned Hazelwood out before. He goes pretty well with the pink ball at Adelaide. I think he averages 18, which is very good.
Pretty big out.
Pretty big out. I mean, obviously, bloody Warney was carrying on about Stark and how he's been no good, but he was pretty good. Obviously, that first ball knocking over Burns last test, he averages similar with the pink ball, so he'll probably have a big part to play. Richardson also swings it well if he comes in. But then obviously on the English side with the bowlers coming in, you've got potentially Anderson and Broad, like over 1,000 test wickets between them. Anderson, obviously, there's probably the better swing bowler of the two. So you'd think that the bowlers are going to dominate here. And yeah, sort of could be over pretty quickly.
So there could be some angles in terms of like low run scorers or like unders in terms of like total runs and things like that.
Yeah, well, I mean, obviously, the Aussies obviously won by 9 wickets last game. It probably flattered them a bit. I think obviously Travis Head dominated and Warner made it look pretty good, but Warner sort of got, I think he got dropped a couple of times or had a few chances. But the rest of the top order didn't look like that, anything flash. So, despite Australia sort of looking like they dominated that first one, there may be a little bit more to read into there in terms of both top orders look pretty poor. So yeah, sort of looking at under run totals in innings and things like that could be something to have a look at.
Any angles that you've seen just immediately coming off the bat just to win some easy money there, Shane?
Well, lay the draw, I think, is pretty obvious, isn't it? But I mean, it's $8 the draw. Just looking at there's not a lot of liquidity here on Betfair yet, but there is markets for first innings totals and things like that too. So as we get closer to match day, there'll be more money in the pool there. So that could be worth having a look at. But I need to talk to Jacko. We might, because we've got an $800 kitty, we might just let the whole lot loose on laying the jaw and just cheering the wickets either way. Might be the play. We'll see.
If you do want to find out a little bit more about where the traders are leading the sports trading experts that we do have involved in the mailbag, you can obviously catch them probably live the morning of the test. Definitely tune into that. But we will pivot into the NFL. Obviously, at the moment while we're recording, halfway through the Cardinals and Rams game, what did you have on that, and how's that looking at the moment?
Oh, it's a proper sweat, this one, because I've taken the Rams at the line, and Dicko is the other way, and he's got the Cardinals, and he's threatening to go 5-0 for the second week in a row. And
we hate that.
The bloke had to ask where the Cardinals are from yesterday. Like, he doesn't know where they're from, and he's about to go 5-0 again. He's done it 2 weeks in a row. He's picked massive heavy favourites, and like that is just not the way to bet and win NFL. And I don't know how, beginner's luck or whatever he's doing. But he's absolutely beside himself with joy. So I'm really hoping it's 13 all at half time. So I'm really hoping the Rams can get it done, because I can't have him go 5-0 again. It's going to it's just insufferable. It's terrible.
Moving forward into obviously Friday, we've got Chargers, Chiefs, and it rolls on from there the next round. What have you got? And is there any early plays there or any early thoughts on that round at all?
Yeah, that Chargers-Chiefs game should be really good. I think the Chargers have sort of figured it out. They had a new head coach this year, and I think he's a bit of a wizard. So something they've sort of finally figured it out. Justin Herbert, he's their quarterback, is second year. He's an absolute weapon. If you just go have a look on Twitter at that throw he made on the weekend, he threw it like 70 yards in the air. It was just a joke. So that should hopefully have plenty of points. Obviously, that's a divisional game. There's a couple of other. I've actually been going pretty well with our early picks for that Thursday game. I think I lent to the Vikings last week, who managed to get it done as well. So we may as well give a pick here because the junk mail were going all right. I would probably early lean. I'd like to take the Chargers with the points. So they're a 4-point early line. So I'd happily take them at home as well. There's a little early lean again. But otherwise, there's just a whole load of sort of tight divisional games again this week. So obviously, that'll be week 15 of 18. So sort of working out playoff spots and stuff now. So sort of starting to take shape. A lot of teams sort of either really needing to win to stay in it, or are completely out of it and probably tanking, trying to get position for draft picks. So you've got to be pretty careful. But other than that, I haven't really had a chance to. It's still obviously Tuesday, so got to let the dust settle from the weekend and have a look later in the week. But Chargers with the points, early look.
Oh, beautiful, mate. And quickly, Shane, obviously you've absolutely clocked cricket in terms of sports trading. What's the next target? Like, where's the next big like lottery win, basically? Because it's all like free money, isn't it?
Yeah. So just sport trading in particular.
Yeah, just like where are you next going to? Like badminton, climbing.
Well, look, I'm that confident about some early AFL positions. As you know, I'm a big Melbourne supporter, and like I'm happy to have that one ticked away. But I am squirreling away. Like if you squirrel away $10 a day or $10 a week between now and round one, and have it on the Brisbane Lions to win the premiership, to finish top 4, whatever, both. Like come the end of, I know it's a long-term investment. This is like an 8-month investment. Because come the end of August, they're going to be short price favourites to win the flag. So that's my futures bet for sports trading. But that's a long-term one. So, but yeah, Jackson and I, we think we're going to start attacking the NBA. We've already taken a few positions on the Tide, who wins the chip, some defensive player of the year, rookie of the year, and league MVP. So we've taken some positions on that, and that's something that we're going to be talking about real soon.
Yeah, unreal. And George, you put a couple of early NBA bets that like really came in on like the overall.
Yeah, I was just having a look.
Awards.
Yeah,
how's that going at the moment?
Yeah, good. Well, there's a couple. There was particularly 6 man of the year. I think we had Tyler Herro, and I think he was 17s. He's into $1.62. So that's a big, yeah. I mean, next best is $12. I think he's still averaging mid-20s. So that's as good as a lock. We had Ja Morant, most improved player. He's injured, he got into like 250. He's sort of been injured for a couple of weeks. He's back out to 550, but that was in from about 10 or 12, I think, as well. So I had a couple of good shorteners there. And there was a smoky. I think we might have even had the Heat for the title. I'm not sure what odds they were.
We laid the Lakers at around like $4 or something. We laid them. We said they were completely cast, and they're already out to like $13, $14. Yeah.
Yeah, that was the first line of that. Lakers are dinosaurs and will not win it.
Yeah, well, beautiful. Well, it looks like that at the moment the guys that we're like focusing on sports trading obviously just can't lose. So I don't know what we're doing like betting on horse races at the moment, but I'd just like to thank you guys for jumping on. A lot of value from that. Hopefully the viewers tapped into that and win a couple of dollars for themselves. So thanks for that, fellas. I just wanted to quickly just wrap up the episode. It was like, obviously we try and do something funny normally, but I just had a really interesting fact that I thought was just like a bit of a left field weird one. So I don't know if you know Chad Kruger. He's lead singer of Nickelback. For everyone playing at home that don't know Chad Kruger, I'll get a photo up for it. But he actually appears in nativity scenes, like and volunteers at high schools and he only does like he could potentially do other plays, but he just chooses to do nativity scenes. And like, you think that's a bit of a strange thing, and you're kind of like, oh, is he Christian or something like that? He's not even Christian. He's no real. He's appeared as a shepherd. He's appeared as like a keeper's in. He's appeared as the back end of a donkey in one of these nativity plays. I'm serious. It's the strangest.
Are you sure, man? Is this a fun fact, or is this like I love this segment, mind you, and I haven't heard this before, but keep running with the segment.
No, it's the strangest. It's the strangest fun fact of all time. And I'll tell you what, one he's always wanted to go for this role, but he's never made it as a wise man.
I did not see that coming, man. That is fucking gold, man.
Yeah.
That's fucking brilliant.
You're welcome.
Oh.
Couldn't cut it as a poor man stealing. Tired of living like a blind man. I'm sick aside without a sense of feeling.